We'll join them later today, but first let's get you back to the scenes in Houston. And the pain on Japan. They are now winless in 5 knockout stages. You feel for Japan, Mikel.
Yeah, you do. Heartbreaking. Honestly, heartbreaking. I think it's the second time the last game yesterday. We've seen goals scored in the last minute or so, extra time, but this is heartbreaking because this Japan side, they've given so much to this tournament. The fans, the players, they've given everything today. They started the game really well. They played well. They got in front without first goal that they scored, and you thought, okay, they can control the game and they can go on from there to win the game. But this Brazilian side, give credit to these players. They came back in the second half. They fought really hard. Casemiro got them back, and of course, this finish from Martinelli, just brilliant, absolutely brilliant, but heartbreaking for this Japanese team.
You know, this is unbelievable game to watch. First of all, Brazil was just pressing. I think this game was won by Carlo Ancelotti. I mean, he's made 2 massive calls today. We said at halftime, you've got to take Casemiro off.
Yeah, we did.
Because he was not very good. Got a yellow card early on. Then he made a big mistake on the Japanese goal. But he kept him on the pitch. And would you know, he turned up and scored. And not only that, he was kind of the best Brazilian player in the second half. He was here, there, everywhere. He did really well. And the second big call, he took Cunha off and put Martinelli in, and he ended up being the match winner.
Yeah, I mean, it was an exciting game, but really a game with 2 halves. I thought Japan was better in the first half. Looked like they were going to boss the game as the first half ended. Second half, Brazil came out. They knew they needed to push the issue. And like you said, Casemiro big, almost got that header that was cleared off the line, and then got another one with a great cross in. Bruno with the great ball to Martinelli. Surprised he was so open. What's up?
You called that.
Hey, we don't recognize Real. My man.
Tap him on the back.
My man.
His back is starting to hurt now because of so much. Yeah.
Hey, you know, every now and then a blind squirrel finds a nut. But what I also want to say is, hey, Brazil dances into the round of 16, and shout out to Japan. Showed a lot of heart and character throughout this tournament. Their fan base is awesome, and with the respect they show, sad to see them go, but they carried themselves well.
Brazil, only 1 second-half goal in the group stage. They get 2 by Coca-Cola. That's the reaction in Houston. How about the scene in Rio de Janeiro?
Whoa.
What is that guy wearing? Is he a tree?
Tree and some balls.
What is happening? That is a look. So Brazil, your second confirmed team here in the round of 16. Remember, Canada able to advance with a late goal yesterday. Next up for the Brazilians will be either the Ivory Coast or Norway. That one July 5th at New York, New Jersey Stadium. Rob Stone, Mikel John Obi, Clint Dempsey, Peter Schmeichel in studio with you today. Vinny Jr. said recently, quote, the 6th star is taking too long to arrive. The 5-time World Cup champs are now just 4 wins away from getting that 6th World Cup star on their jersey. Pick up this one in the 29th minute, and look at this. It's Japan on top.
Yeah, miss pass here from Danilo here, and Kaisu Sano picked up the ball, drive past Casemiro, who knew that he was on a yellow card, couldn't foul him, couldn't touch him, but very easy here for him to run past Casemiro. Didn't need any power, just the placement for me. Absolutely no chance for Alisson to save that. That's it. Japan went 1-0 up.
Brazil really cooled off Japan in the second half. The Japanese just 1 shot in the final 45.
Yeah, but still, this time in the game, everything is going Japan's way. Brazil was really putting a lot of pressure on Suzuki's goal, but he stood up to it. He was brilliant. And if you want to see how it goes, Japan's way, just have a look at this. Casemiro, we're thinking, oh, it's going to be a bad day for him. And again, saved on the line. And again, you see this here, blocked on the line, then the goalkeeper, then back on the line, and then a clearance.
A tella 2 halves for Brazil, a tella 2 halves for Casemiro. Great ball in from Gabriel. And this man, Casemiro, with a big goal, gets him back in the game.
What is Gabriel doing with that cross?
I mean,
what's he doing there in the first place?
The offsides technology, he was on sides, timed the run perfectly, and what a finish. Brazil's back dancing again.
And I think Suzuki he had a fantastic game today. You think Brazil is all about Vinny? Junior. It is at times. This is a fantastic little run. But what a great save he's producing here again. And this time he hit the post, and it went out.
You talk about the decisions of Ancelotti, getting Martinelli on the pitch. And before the game, we talked about players who could open the game up. Bruno with another assist. Great pass to Martinelli. Keeper almost makes the save again. How does he find that much space to be open in the box? Doesn't matter. What a goal. Brazil up 2-1.
Yeah, what a goal, what a pass from Bruno Guimaraes. Absolutely superb.
Tired legs, tired minds.
If you look at the number 2 there, the defender, I don't know what the man on the wide is not important. Close the middle of the goal. He didn't do that, but absolutely superb goal.
So the Brazilian engine is still roaring.
Tokyo drift action.
That's right. Clint, is that how you drive a car?
That's how my daughter drives a car. Sorry, Lise.
Or those insurance premiums?
Oh, I've been dropped a few times.
Man, they show up every month. I'm like, is this my quarterly bill? They're like, no, sir, this is every month. All right, Tobin Heat. Does this game have a late goal in it? Yes, Tobin. Yes, it does. There's the reply. Gabriel, not the last word. Fox Match Conversations is sponsored by Threads. Threads has certainly been a popular destination for discussion about this summer's World Cup. Brazil's thrilling win over Japan, certainly a big topic of conversation. We're going to continue to converse about it as well. What does a win in this fashion do for Brazil going forward?
I won't recommend playing for it, but it's the greatest way to win a game, isn't it? Because they deserved him, and they had so much. They had 69% of the ball, and they were really playing well. Japan was defending well, and it's difficult. It's always difficult to break that kind of thing. But again, they find that little space. You called Bruno Guimaraes, he would find that pass. You called that before the game, and he did find that pass. And it only takes 1 minute or 1 moment of a game, tired minds, tired legs out there, to do that. And it's a brilliant thing to win it like that. I said before the game, the 2 games I've been at with Brazil this tournament, it's always looked like they had another gear. And today they have to go into that other gear. I thought they did that today. And to win like that, it's going to give you so much confidence.
Yeah. You go ahead.
No, I think one thing that we can take away from it is obviously the big calls that Carlo Ancelotti made today. We were all saying, yeah, what do we know, Rob? We know nothing about football. Carlo Ancelotti, we called for Casemiro to be taken off. But he's like, nope, I'm going to leave him on the pitch. What did he do? He came up with the equalizer. And, of course, bringing in Martinelli as well. Those big calls, that's why you hire a manager like Carlo Ancelotti, a manager who's been there, done it, knows how to win titles. And we've said it before the game. Is he going to be the guy that will bring this Brazilian side back to the glory days? You can see here again, this goal here, this first goal here. Absolute brilliant goal. We know Casemiro couldn't touch him because he was on a yellow card. And what's this man doing here? Gabriel with the perfect cross and a perfect header from Casemiro.
I mean, the positive you take away from this game is the character Brazil showed to get back into this game. The confidence that Martinelli has now from getting that game winner. The confidence this team has from winning a knockout stage when they were losing, and now they go on to the round of 16. Neymar gets rested a little bit more, but then the worrying thing is Paqueta, how he's dealing with that, or Paqueta, how he's dealing with that injury that he has, and Casemiro came off. He was feeling something, and they were already kind of weak in that midfield. It's going to be interesting if the 6 days will be enough to get them back on the field so they can be firing on all cylinders. 8th come-from-behind win at this World Cup. The Samba Kings still dancing. They move on to the round of 16. Superior player of the match, sponsored by Michelob Ultra. Casemiro rebounded from that rough first half, got the equalizer, became the second oldest Brazilian to score at a World Cup, behind only Bebeto in '98. A reminder, there's a lot of indications out there that man, the 34-year-old Casemiro, headed to Inter Miami after this World Cup. 1 match down, 2 more to go. Both of them live on Fox today. The 4-time champs, Germany. They're in action next in Boston. They have Paraguay and then the Netherlands. They've been runners-up 3 times, including to Germany in '74. The Dutch square off against 2022 semifinalist Morocco later today.
And now his adopted country is one step closer to what they all want, which is a World Cup final. Of course, with a long, long way to go before that. And when we have a look at the progressive draw, as it were, Brazil top right there. You can see they're in the same quarter as England. there's a long, long way before that might happen. So
One game at a time.
Don't worry about that
Just relax.
today.
One game at a time, Mark. Let's relax.
That's a story a long way down the line. Let's have a look at the goal. Let's have a look at the way it's Ryan, actually, the Bournemouth winger, who didn't have a particularly impactful match, but he kept going and he wins the ball back just at the right
That's a great
moment.
sign when you want your attackers, if they're not having a great day in terms of a possession, make sure you hunt people down and win the ball back, which they did, and particularly so late in the game, that desire to try and win a game of football when you're thinking we'll settle for a draw. And again, we're looking at Martinelli, of course, just
And it's
hanging around
Tanaka who gives it away.
Yeah, of course,
unnecessarily.
but that's the pressure they're under. But it's the final pass. Yeah, we criticise the full-back for maybe gambling, but the composure with the pass where you're thinking, he's obviously going to have a shot here. And it's so late in the game, that composure, that intelligence and the execution of the pass. Brilliant first touch from Martinelli, that sets it up. And we've seen Martinelli, we listen to plenty of critics out there of Martinelli not doing enough consistently. But from that moment, that first touch, big moment for him, big moment for Brazil, and you can see the reaction. I thought Brazil, outstanding. Absolutely loved watching it in the second half. Real desire to go and win a game of football.
I think the referee's view, Patrick, just shows how congested it is in. I think that's a really good view for everybody at home to really appreciate how little space there is in there.
Yeah, it was quite really compact. You had around 19 players just around the box. But what is quite really interesting on that side is Brazil in the possession. They lost the ball, but they stayed there and tried to win it straight away. So the fact that they win the ball straight away didn't give Japan the time to reorganize themselves. And then in a really tight space, they make the right decision. There was a quality of the pass, and it was a really good finish.
And what about that? It's decision-making, it's
It is,
control.
but, you know, if you're going to defend that deep, as Japan did, Sugiwara, the right back there, has got to tuck in. You know, it's one thing sitting deep, but you give good players this much space. Look, it's a great first touch, great pass, but when you have so many players in the box, you can't be giving opposition players that much space.
Well, it needs to be almost man-to-man in there, doesn't it?
It has to be, because the right back, Sugiwara's got no one to pick up there. The space is inside. That's where the danger is. And that was the problem for Japan. They not just they sat deep, but they still give opportunities, no pressure on the ball for them to be able to compete in there.
And we've seen it so many times over the years where teams have a lot of numbers back, but sometimes you have too many numbers. Everyone else thinks somebody else is going to do the job. And they end up with 3 or 4 spare players instead of just actually getting tight in somebody, go man-to-man, because there's plenty of bodies there, but everyone is thinking somebody else is going to do that job.
It's going to be something for Carlo Ancelotti to think about in the next round. It's going to be Norway or Cote d'Ivoire, because Casemiro limped off and Paqueta limped off. That's 2 of his midfield 3.
Yeah, and, you know, losing 2 central midfielders like that is not going to be easy for them. We just have to wait to see how bad it is. But we saw players coming on in the second half, and they have the experience. But losing 2 players, you never know how long and it will take for them to recover.
Yeah, but obviously we'll find out in the next few days how serious it is. Obviously these players are getting a bit older, maybe sometimes just a bit of cramp or tightness, so hopefully from their point of view, it's not too serious.
But you say opportunity, of course, is what you've got to grasp. I love the way that when a massive goal goes in, he's like, yeah, and 5, that's what happens, Ange. Just the way he stays calm, even when it's going his way, it's remarkable.
Yeah, but I think he also understands that, you know, in the chaos of everything that's happening, the game is still going on.
Yes.
You know, there's still things that need to be decided. And, you know, I think, look, it's heartbreaking for Japan. I know exactly how they'd be feeling, because as a nation, they just feel like they need to break through this barrier, and now they have to wait another 4 years to do that. And that's the World Cup. You know, they're the moments. And the great teams find a way to win. And that's what Japan need to get to.
And with the Japanese, because they all know full well that if you know us, the Japanese equivalent sitting here are going, done it against Belgium, you've done it against Croatia, now you've done it again against Brazil. When are you going to learn? How are you going to make that step?
Well, it was like Arsenal finished second for a number of years. It's football, top level football is brutal. That's why you have to, when the teams keep winning, we have to give them credit. So Japan, again, have made fantastic progress. Their supporters have been magnificent, and their players gave it their all today. I think the previous times where they've been knocked out, where they got themselves in great positions, you could be a bit more critical. And obviously we'll analyse, Ange's mentioned their defenders making wrong decisions, but that's pressure. That comes from pressure, decision-making in key moments where the top teams just have that bit of composure. And again, this top-level sport is brutal. They'll have to learn. And 4 years, in another 4 years' time, hopefully they're a little bit wiser.
Absolutely, that is the case. OK.